It started with socks, not infidelity, not some screaming match or broken dishes. Just socks. I was standing in the laundry room, holding a damp mess of her delicates tangled in my gym shirt. When Lauren walked in, already annoyed, she said I'd ruined another one of her bras. I told her, without looking up, that maybe if she separated the laundry like she promised, this wouldn't happen. It was the kind of back and forth we had all the time, tired, nagging, mechanical. But this time, she didn't walk away. She stood there. I could feel her staring at me like she was loading something. "You know what?" she said, arms folded. "You're bad in bed, Michael." Just like that. No build-up. No warning. Like a slap from someone who never raised their hand before. I laughed. It wasn't real. It was a sound I made to stop the silence from swallowing me whole. "Well," I said, trying to stay upright on the inside. That was out of nowhere. She didn't blink. "Well." Someone had to say it. There was a venom in her voice I'd never heard before. And a smirk. A goddamn smirk, like she'd just won something. I dropped the laundry into the basket and leaned against the dryer, suddenly aware of every part of my body. My heart was pounding. But I spoke calmly. "Why would you say that?" She shrugged. "Maybe because I'm tired of pretending it's enough. You, this house, your life, it's all just beige." I couldn't breathe for a second. Beige. That's how she saw me, a color you walk past. Something forgettable. "That's funny," I said quietly, because I was tired too, just not cruel enough to weaponize it. She scoffed and turned to leave, but I wasn't done. "That wasn't about laundry. What's really going on, Lauren?" She paused at the door. "Nothing's going on. You just don't satisfy me anymore." I wanted to scream, to throw something, to make her feel even a fraction of the humiliation now coursing through my chest. But I didn't. I just stood there, swallowing shards of whatever self-respect I had left, feeling like my spine had been yanked out of me. She left the room like she'd won a debate, like her insult had settled the score on some invisible scoreboard only she could see. And me, I stood there, staring at a sock that wasn't mine, realizing for the first time that maybe she hadn't seen me as her husband in a long, long time. The house was silent after she walked out, but the words she left behind still rang like church bells in my skull. "You're bad in bed, Michael." I sat at the kitchen table with a cold cup of coffee, staring through it like it held some kind of answer. I didn't know what hurt more, what she said, or how easily she said it. That's the part that kept looping in my head. The way she looked at me like I was a stranger she couldn't even pretend to respect anymore. 10 minutes passed, maybe 20. Then came the sound of footsteps upstairs, soft, hesitant. I had almost forgotten Sophia was even staying the night, Lauren's best friend since college. She was supposed to crash in the guest room after driving in from Portland. She walked into the kitchen in leggings and a hoodie, clearly uncomfortable. I braced myself for awkwardness, maybe even more judgment, but she just stood there for a second, watching me. "I heard everything," she said quietly. I looked away, ashamed. "Yeah, sorry about that." Sophia didn't move. She was out of line. "Michael." I blinked. "You don't have to." "No, I do." Her voice was steady, but something behind it cracked. That wasn't okay. That wasn't just a fight. That was cruel. She knew what she was doing. I looked up at her then, really looked. Sophia wasn't being polite. She was angry. Not at me, at Lauren. "She's been different lately," she continued, colder, like she's constantly performing. "I tried to talk to her about it before I came out here, but she shut me down." I didn't know what to say. I'd expected silence from Sophia. Or worse, some attempt to smooth things over. Not this, not a defense. "She's lying to you," Sophia added. "About more than just how she feels in bed." I tensed. "What do you mean? I don't know everything, but there's someone she's been texting. I saw it on her phone last week. The name was saved as Lena, but the messages, those weren't from a woman." I asked her. She denied it and changed the subject. My heart dropped. I stood slowly, trying to gather myself. "Why are you telling me this?" She hesitated, then spoke carefully. "Because I don't want to be part of her cover anymore. I stayed friends with her because I thought she just needed time. But now, I see it. She's tearing you down to justify what she's doing." Outside, I heard the front door open, Lauren returning with that same clipped energy she always had when she felt cornered. Sophia stepped closer and lowered her voice. I know this puts me in the middle, but I'm not going to pretend I didn't hear what she said to you. You didn't deserve that. No one does. Then Lauren entered the kitchen. Her eyes darted between us. What's going on? She asked, instantly defensive. Sophia answered before I could. I told him, Lauren's face twisted. Told him what? That I saw your messages. That I know you're lying to him. The silence that followed wasn't quiet. It was deafening. Lauren opened her mouth, ready to spin something. But the air in the room had shifted. She wasn't the one holding power anymore, and she knew it. Lauren's lips parted, then closed. Her eyes bounced between us, calculating, desperate, cornered for the first time. I saw it. Fear, Sophia. She said, forcing a laugh that didn't land. You don't know what you saw. Sophia didn't blink. I know exactly what I saw. I know what those messages said. And I know you've been using me as a prop to make yourself feel innocent. I stood still, letting the weight of it all settle into my bones. Who is he? Lauren looked at me, her mouth twitching like it wanted to form a lie but couldn't decide which one would stick. No one. I stepped forward. Try again. Her face tightened. It's nothing. Just texts. It didn't mean anything. So you are texting someone. She turned her head away, biting the inside of her cheek. That was all the confirmation I needed. I felt something deep in me give way, not like a snap, but like a door slowly closing. You humiliated me this morning. In our own house. With a lie, I said, my voice low. And it turns out, it wasn't even about me. Michael? She started, reaching out. I stepped back. Don't. The room swelled with silence. Sophia looked away, arms folded, jaw clenched in disgust. Lauren stood frozen, suddenly stripped of all the smug confidence she'd wielded like a weapon just an hour earlier. You want to feel wanted? I said quietly. So you decided to dismantle me instead. Her eyes flicked to Sophia, then back to me. I didn't plan this. I've felt empty for a long time. You could have told me, I said, instead. You used my body as a punchline. Tears welled up in her eyes, but I couldn't tell if it was regret or just fear of the consequences. She stepped closer, but I didn't move. I couldn't. I was done meeting her halfway. I made mistakes, she said, voice cracking now, but I didn't sleep with him. Sophia scoffed. Yet, Lauren whipped toward her. You think you know everything. Huh? Sophia stared her down. I know enough to say you don't deserve him. Lauren looked like she'd been slapped, but I didn't say a word. I couldn't feel sorry for her. Not now. Not when the truth had finally surfaced and it looked exactly like what my gut had been whispering for months. I want honesty. I said, no more circles, no more deflection. Just say it. Lauren looked at me, truly looked. Her shoulders sank. I didn't want to be the bad guy. You are. That landed harder than anything else in the room. She broke. Not dramatically, no sobbing, no collapse. Just a quiet, shattering realization in her eyes that she'd finally run out of people to lie to. Sophia stepped back, giving us space. She wasn't here to play referee. She'd said what needed saying. Now it was between Lauren and me. I took one last look at the woman I'd shared a bed, a mortgage, a future with, and I didn't see her anymore. I saw the pieces of someone I used to love, scattered at her own feet. This was the moment I knew. There was no going back.